Well, welcome to another video. It's actually only a couple minutes after I finished filming the last video, but I decided I'd stick around and mess with it a little more. And if you remember in the last video, we were dealing with the distributor, and as I was dealing with that, I kind of loosened up some of the manifold bolts so that I could swap in some long tube headers as well as a whole new exhaust system. But you can kind of see, I got it. Oh, hang on. There we go. You don't want to see my finger. You can kind of see this one here is, I got all the bolts out of that one. And I also got, this one hasn't popped free from the head, but all the bolts are out of this one as well, I believe. And that's a really good plus because I was super worried about one of them snapping, which none of them did. So that is really, really good, because it would have been a pain in the butt to try to get a snapped bolt to the point I probably would have just said, can't see it from where I sleep, and just put everything back together around it. But really good. Everything came apart nicely. Yeah, that was really, because as far as the rest of the exhaust, it's going to probably be, the grinder and cutting wheel and get it all cut out. So this was the only part that I kind of needed to really come apart nicely. So, yeah, while I'm thinking of it, I'll show you on this side of the truck. Everything is hot because it was just running, but you crawl under here, and this exhaust pipe, you can see right there where the two pieces slide together is where it's all rusted. Actually, it's cooled down, so you can see that right there, maybe. Yeah, they're rusted. I guess that proves my point. It didn't do that last time I was messing with it. So, and then over here on this side, it's not in the same spot. Well, it is, but it isn't. It's where these two come together. You can kind of see it's starting to rust through there. So, which I noticed before, but I kind of ignored it. But obviously this side must have been doing the same thing at about the same time. So, which while I was looking at this side, I was kind of questioning, which it feels like it is, but it almost looked like it wasn't really hooked up well up to the manifold, where the pipe hooks to the manifold. But yeah, so this is the whole reason we're doing the exhaust system, which this time, I mean, I didn't do this exhaust system. This was on it when I bought the truck. But instead of coming out in front of the axle there, it's going to come out behind the back of the axle, and it's going to kind of go off at an angle, kind of. And I have a set of, yeah, cherry bomb glass packs. I got a set of them to put in too. So I'm kind of excited to see what it sounds like. Yeah. I told one lady that I wasn't going to do anything to the exhaust to make it louder, but I guess it's just teenagers in their trucks. Because we're going to have a loud exhaust. Mom was asked Dad about the mufflers, and he goes, well, they're not really mufflers. You will know when he's home. So, yeah. It'll be probably a work in progress. I don't know. I'm hoping I can try to do most of it by myself, but I mean, I have access to a welder, but if it comes down to that, I might end up just taking it somewhere, because someone else will do a lot better of a job than I will. So, not that it looks like the last person really did a good job. So, I mean, and I suppose, you know, I probably could have just slid it back together there, reclamped it and everything, and it probably would have been fine. But, you know, the whole pipe, I mean, everything looks like an exhaust system. So, yeah, you can see right here, it's kind of cracked, it looks like. Not really in the camera, but maybe not. It was just the rust. But, I mean, she looks rough. Since both sides need it, I mean, might as well just... I've already ordered the new kit, so I might as well put it in. No sense in not putting it in. So, then we'll at least have a nice exhaust. But the main reason for doing it now and not waiting till the inspection comes due is because inspection comes due in December, and I don't really want to be doing an exhaust system in the middle of winter. And, you know, something tells me that that would not be real appealing, so we'll do it now, and or within the next couple of days. Yeah. See what the next couple of days brings. It'd be nice if tomorrow we could get it all tore out and get the headers put in. But honestly, if it's all cooled down now, I might pop one of these this side off maybe or something and see how the header fits. Well, then I gotta do the starter. Maybe we'll do the starter first. But at the same time, I could put the header in and see. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So, catch you in a little bit, I guess. Alright, so we got, it's down to just one bolt on each header that's holding it on there. They are still kind of warm, so I'm just kind of holding off for now. I'm thinking maybe I'll go and get this last bolt on this side. I need a wrench for, not a socket and ratchet, because of how the oil dipstick there is. And yeah, I don't have really any room to get in there very well. So, and well, the main reason is I can't find the 9/16 socket for the 3/4 inch ratchet. So I have a 1/2 inch socket on an adapter on the 3/8 socket, which I had been using a deep socket, and it is shorter, barely, but it is shorter, but not quite short enough. So yeah, yeah, I think I might. I don't really want to go cutting that old exhaust off yet, but yeah, maybe I'll go find or go get my box of exhaust parts and just lay them out, kind of figure out how they're supposed to go, and yeah, go from there. I mean, I guess technically it already is falling apart, so it wouldn't, I would just be finishing the job. I don't know, we'll see. I think I'll go get the exhaust parts and kind of just lay them out and see how they go together and everything. So yeah, I guess we get back with you in a second. All right, so we got them laid out here, kind of how they go. Yeah, the tips there will be rotated differently. That was just kind of to show whereabouts they would go. That box just has the hardware, you know, U-bolts and that such. Yeah, it's a little confusing, if you will. I don't know if you're supposed to just cut here to put in the muffler. And of course they got writing on it, you know, yada yada yada. This kit is designed to replace OEM factory installed muffler and tailpipe. If the exhaust system has been altered in any way, fabrication and or purchase of additional pipe. I think there's supposed to be a may in there somewhere. May be required. Yeah, that's as much as I can read. So, obviously the muffler itself is still in the house. It's not out here yet. I imagine what they mean is probably you're supposed to cut it here and then put your muffler in between and then put, I don't know. So, obviously we have all the pieces and everything. This here is where it will go over the rear axle and then shoot out the back. So, yeah. I think maybe part of me wants to go and just cut off the old muffler and pull it out, and then we can lay it down on the side and compare, you know? Excuse me. So, I guess I have a cutting wheel on the grinder already, so maybe we'll go crawl in and do that. And then maybe by the time we get that out, the manifolds and stuff will be cooled down enough that we can maybe, here's another sticker. Oh, it's just a sticker. A sticker. Yeah, part number thing. So, yeah, I mean, this is just something I ordered off of eBay, so see how it goes. I mean, it was cheap. That's honestly how I'm kind of going. These manifolds that are, what are they? Headers are literally something I ordered off of Walmart. I'm not joking you. I literally ordered those off of Walmart. But, I mean, they look nice. See how... Thing is, I wasn't really going for anything pretty, per se. You know? Obviously, the truck itself ain't pretty. So, why have a pretty exhaust system? I've yet to have someone walk up to me and say, hey, how's your exhaust system? You know? So, anyways. I think we'll go cut that old one off. See what kind of trouble we can get into. I got the new starter right here in the box. I get a lot of stuff from Napa. They're really good. Like this, I walked in and I said, hey, I need a starter for a 78 F150 with a 351 modified. He looked in his computer, he goes, yep, we got one. And I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. So, and honestly, I've been surprised what kind of stuff they'll have, and you know, they're pretty good at being able to get stuff. So, I mean, we have a good Napa. They're all older guys. So, when I first got the truck, I was changing the oil. I grabbed a bottle of 1030. I'd got something else for the truck, so they had, they knew what I had, and he goes, that for the truck? I say, yep. He goes, that's not the oil you want. You want the 1040. I was like, oh, okay. So, they're pretty good. So, sometimes I'm surprised at what they have, and sometimes I'm surprised at what they don't have, but honestly, they are genuinely unhappy when they don't have something, so guess you can't really beat that. But, anywho, get back on track here, so we'll go try cutting off this old exhaust. Alright, we got the old exhaust cut out. This is the one I had to cut. The other side I just cut the hanger and it came apart. I think I can pull what's left on, at least on this and both sides. I think I can pull up. Let's see how. I think we can pull this out. So we'll get my last 2 bolts out and see if we can get these manifolds popped up out. All right, starting to get darker now, but you can see we got both of these manifolds out. Yeah. Fun times. And like I just said to myself, I bet this is probably the easy part. So, you guys can't see diddly squat, can you? So, obviously there's no more manifolds in there on either side. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to put the spark plugs up and start it just to see what she sounds like, you know? Why not? So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I don't think there's really any reason I had to take the spark plugs off other than just having them out of the way. Or the wires, not the spark plugs. Spark plugs are still in. I just unhooked the wires. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that real quick. Just for kicks and giggles. Alright, guys, so the spark plug wires are on. Let's see what it sounds like with no no exhaust system at all. Well, wasn't really what I was expecting, but I mean, can't say that I didn't like it. Maybe a smidget quieter, but yeah, we'll see what it sounds like with these along the headers and such. So, well, I'll probably get back to this project tomorrow. So, see you then. All right, guys. So, making some progress here. I've got this. The sun's kind of in the way now. I got this side, this header. There's set up in there. I did get the starter swapped. And while I did that, I found some issues with the starter wires. See if I can get you in there. I don't know, some of you probably know, but figure this out. Oh, okay, here we go. You see, like at the tip of my thumb or finger there, the wire, the coating is all rubbed off and it's messing itself up and oxidizing and everything. So probably end up swapping out the wires. But yeah, we got this side in. The starter isn't fully tightened in yet. I just kind of set it in there and put them in finger tight. One video I watched said you kind of had to finagle the starter a little to get this up in, but I ended up actually getting this up in. I tried going in from the top here, but I had to come up in through the bottom. So that side, I'm hoping, crossing fingers, should be the harder side because there's that big blower and stuff right there. So hoping this side will be a little easier, a little more room to breathe. So yeah, I'll get the gasket put in there and I'll get some bolts in and see what kind of trouble we can get into. All right, well, 2.5 hours after I started today, we got, hang on here, let's see here if we can do this. Yeah, oh, whatever. We got both headers are in. Finally, this side was a pain in the butt to do. And I still, you can kind of see it there, but still got to hook the starter wire up. I'm kind of holding off at the moment because if I was to run it the way it originally was, it would be going, well, not only, it would be either, yeah, I just crawled out from under the truck. I'll explain what I had to do on the other side, but I was getting a bunch of junk dropped in my face. It was not real fun. But if I was to run the wire the way it originally was, it would be right on this bottom pipe here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to unbolt it there, and I'll run it back here. I'm not sure if I either want to go underneath the front motor mount and just run straight to the starter, because then that would get it away from the exhaust, or if I want to somehow drop it down into the frame rail and then over. But obviously I need to figure out how to do up a new cable. Probably do that because I'm going to have to add some length in order to run it the way I'd really like it to go. So that will need to happen before we can start it up. But yeah, so this side went a little faster. The only thing is I don't know if I really had to or not. Put my hat on. I feel naked without it. I dropped the front drive shaft, just the axle side of it, so that I could swing it out of the way to get this in here, and it went beautifully in. I did have to pull the dipstick out, and of course apparently the bottom swivel piece that screws into the oil pan wasn't really wanting to swivel at first, so I ended up bending the dipstick tube pretty good, which the nice thing is it's easy enough to bend it back, but I practically had to straighten it to get it to, or bend it straight. There's a little bit of an elbow into it, but I practically had to straighten it right out to get it to spin so that I could take it off. And then the swivel started spinning, so when I put it back in, once I got stuff bent the right way, it did go together nicely. I had to do some minor bending. It doesn't actually bolt to anything up here. It's supposed to bolt to this nut here, but I can't. Yeah, it's all messed up, but it comes in, and it comes out and goes in nicely, or like it did before-ish. So, yeah, I just gotta put these wires, hook these spark plug wires back up. I might hold off on doing it on this side because it gives me a good visual, at least, of what needs to happen here. But spark plug wires just need to get hooked back up, get the starter wire hooked up. I don't know if we had this stuff to make up I think we have ends. I'm not sure about actual cable. So, yeah. That's where we are at the moment. Not sure. I did tighten the starter up, but we got the ends there. You can kind of see them. And yeah, it took a little longer than I was really expecting, but in all honesty, I was really worried about having these bolts snapping off in the head. Yeah, this one here is loose. I wondered if that was. Rabbit trail. I wonder if this one's loose. Nope, that one's tight. That one's just loose. All right. But, I mean, if I was smart when I was crawling into there, I would have, grabbed a drain pan and a wrench and dropped the oil real quick, but not right now, I guess. So, I think, not sure how, well, I did bring, these are the mufflers. Open the box up real quick. Yep, that's what they look like. I think they're like 2 feet long, so 2.5 inch wide, or diameter. So we'll see how those go. I'm excited to see what it sounds like with them and the headers. And of course, you know, since we started it with no manifolds and nothing on it, we got to start it with just the headers on it, you know, just to see what it sounds like, you know. Why not? Actually, I might end up just driving it like this with just the headers on it. I don't know as far as the exhaust pipes. I mean, I have another project I'm wanting to go do tonight too, so that's why I was kind of wanting to get this, at least the headers on, so that I could drive this, you know, just across town. So yeah, probably be a little loud, but let's see if we can figure out the starter wire real quick. It's just a nut or a bolt down there holding it in a bracket to the frame rail, and then obviously just the nut up here. But other than that, it should be it. Oh, and I want to put some wire on the transmission cooler lines because they're right up against the manifold too, so I wanted to pull them away just so that it wasn't smack dab right there against it. So yeah, we'll get this wire pulled out, and then I can give you a little better of a visual of what that cable end there looks like. So I'll get to it. All right, so we got our battery or our starter cable here out, and that's right there what I was talking about that I found. So you got this spot here, and then there's a little bit here on the end. You can tell it's kind of old, brittle. It's practically disintegrating. The more I rub it, the more of it's falling off. So she's in desperate need of a new cable here. I think the other two cables here have been replaced. The way I can kind of tell that is because the ground cable is also a red cable, and the positive cable is a red cable. So I'm pretty certain that did not come from the factory like that. Just, you know, I never heard of an optional anti-theft option on the 78 Fords, you know, because if I can't have it, then you can't either. You know, you switch them and then bye-bye truck. So I really don't know if I have stuff to do this cable. Yeah, I was really hoping to get it started tonight, but I'll run in the basement, see what Dad has. Oh yeah, look, there's even another little spot you can kind of see right here. Kind of dark, but you can see, yeah, how it's rubbed against something. And honestly, who knows? I mean, someone, maybe, I don't know. I mean, who knows what it looks like underneath this cover here, but yeah, let's go see. I'll go see what I can find. You know, like I said, I'm pretty certain we have the cable ends here, but not sure about the rest. And who knows, maybe this had been replaced too. I mean, kind of make you wonder because it's black. I would have thought the positive ones would have been red, you know, like the battery cables. But yeah, I'll go see what I can find. I'll get back with you eventually. All right, guys, just a little bit of an update here. Haven't been doing a real good job of, you know, documenting the whole process, but I got some odds and ends. I mean, so I got one muffler's on. The other one, this side here, the header was just a little bit higher than what the other one was, so I had to get a little bendy piece of exhaust pipe there, you can kind of see, so that I can get it underneath this transmission cross member. As you can see, I got my other piece back there laid out kind of where it needs to be. I gotta run and grab the grinder and trim off a little bit of the end there to move up here. Although thinking about it now, maybe maybe I'll flip it the other way and see what that looks like. If I don't have to cut it, that means I won't have to use one of these connectors, and I'll have one there. So I did start it, see what it sounded like with just the headers, and it was loud. I will say it did sound kind of nice, but it was loud. So I'm hoping that these back here should quiet it down a little bit, maybe. We'll see. So I'm gonna get back at it and see what I can get myself into. All right, guys, we got her all done up. Other than some fine tuning, I gotta adjust, get this side up and under there. In front of the rear axle, I need to raise it up some, but she's all in. We got her running. And I will say, it does not have the appearance of a 78 Ford. So probably gonna do it for this video. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I appreciate you sticking around.